Hi there, and let's get to it. Now that we've started working with parallel and layer mixer nodes, you may have noticed that we were able to output multiple signals out of a single RGB output. This is a solid concept in node-based compositing. You can use the output of any node as many times as you want to, and at any distance of nodes. You can only have one input for every node. So far, we've been sending out multiple signals to nodes that are combined into a single layer, but I could then go on to reuse some of these signals later on in the compositing process again. This is also true and perhaps doubly useful of the key inputs and outputs, which is what we're looking at today. Before we begin, I'd like to first demonstrate this using outside nodes. Right-clicking on any node will give you the option of creating its outside, that is to say, the reverse of its key. So if I was to use either a power window or a qualifier tool on this clip, I could then add an outside of the node to make a copy of my node and invert the selection. The inversion of the key is demonstrated in the key palette, which we'll be looking at in another tutorial. But the thing to note is this symbol here, which indicates that we are inverting the selection. The selection itself is not represented by a symbol in the lower right-hand corner because this key is being derived from node number 2, as you can see by the line over here. This allows you to make adjustments to your footage and then immediately go in and make adjustments around the selection as well. If you simply want to make a copy of your key so that you can affect it on a separate node, then you can still make an outside node, shortcut Alt-O, and then go into the key palette and turn the inversion off, and then you get the same result. Keep in mind that if you want to make any changes to the key in a node that's borrowing a key from another node, that will not be possible because it will not have its own qualifier or power window controls. That will be entirely reliant on the original node key. So you'll either have to do it from there, or you'll have to disconnect the key relationship and then apply a brand new key inside that node. So let's start combining some of these concepts. I'll have a node with some very basic color correction applied to it. We'll then generate a parallel mixer node, and then maybe apply a much more extreme look to it. And then switch it over to layer and apply a blending mode. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm going to reduce the gain on the key output so that it's not as extreme, but I'm pretty happy with the results I'm getting so far. And I'm overlaying the darkness of this black and white image into the original footage. And let's say after the layer node, I make a serial, and my intention is to continue working on the actors' faces. I can't pull a key at this stage anymore because the actors' faces share so much information with the surrounding environment. So instead I'm going to make a serial node after my first one, make sure it's not connected to the second, and run its key data to the final node. My selection is now cleaner and I can make my adjustments and make sure that it's not inverted. After which I can make further adjustments to my liking on top of the extreme blend that I had applied with the black and white footage. And I'm just going to label everything quickly so you can see what each layer is doing, and I hope that makes more sense. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time.